feel like, even though you may not be married, it's just some things are just common sense of how to behave around a married couple. Mm-hmm. And for me, I don't even like to stand and look someone's husband eye to eye and carry on more than a 3-minute conversation. So when we go to exchange telephone numbers, like I was telling somebody the other day, every type of communication that you have with this couple needs to go through the wife. And you should know that at some point in your life. And if you overstep that boundary, then your intentions were wrong from the beginning.
Porsha wrote a coloring book about wanting to be R. Kelly's main girl despite him having a wife, leaving a woman that was screaming to be let out of R. Kelly's sex cult. She fantasized about her ex-husband being her man when he was in a public relationship with his baby mother. Then she's engaged to a dude whose soon-to-be ex-wife was her co-worker. She met both of them on the show at the same time and started an affair with him. So yeah, journalists are going to ask basic questions and not stroke your ego.
Damn. I'm sorry.
I work for Dish Nation. I am in the world of journalism. So my word needs to be...
Journalism is...
So you're downplaying my job? This word right here is killing me. What's this?
Reciprocation?
Reciprocity.
Let me see, Porsha.
It's a big... It's
Reciprocity?
Reciprocity. No. Look at it. Come look at it.
Give me that.
Reciprocity.
Hard mess, child.
I would like Porsha to spell scepter. So.
It's almost hurtful to me to watch her be so dumb.
Somebody wrote a death on 265 days a year. What is wrong with that?
Porsha Williams coming back to Real Housewives of Atlanta? That's false. But Porsha Guardia is in the building. See y'all.
Well, I guess Porsha Williams is coming back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta because
Porsha Guardia
filed for divorce, child, and we don't even know if that's truly her real name because you all know I've been reporting about it that the man re-entered this country after being deported due to his criminal past under a fake name and fake identity. Got his paperwork under that fake identity, and then decided to file for a citizenship in this country under that fake identity. And that's how he was caught. For those of you who missed that video, I have linked that video in the description below. If you want more information on Porsha filing for divorce, I have linked that video in the description below. Now let's get into the current topic. Every other day, there's something either going on with this story or someone is filing paperwork. It's just been so much in a hot mess that I say, you know what, I'm just going to fall back and then I might revisit in a week or a few weeks or probably next month or whatever because it's too much. But anyways, the latest story that's out is that the nanny is now involved in all of this. So most of you are aware that a few weeks ago, when all of this started, I reported that Simon basically said that Porsha showed up at his house. It is her house too, but allegedly her name is not on the deed. He bought the house. So it's his house. He wants her out of the house, but there's certain things within their prenuptial agreement that legally she is still allowed to live there until the judge says otherwise, okay? Or until they both agree to sell the property. So we shall see about that part. Anyways, as Simon is fighting to get Porsha out of his house and basically saying that he wants to see all of the footage, if any, that Porsha Williams have filmed for the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16, even though we don't know if they even started filming yet. It's possible since Porsha was announced early on that she's been doing some filming by herself and with her family and all of that. Simon is asking to see those footage because he wants to know if he's being mentioned and if he's being used for and as a storyline, okay, or for her storyline. And if so, how much is Bravo paying her? And he wants his cut, or don't use me at all. Go ahead and tell your story, but you can't say my name, you can't use me, you can't mention me. Allegedly, basically, these are the things that he's saying in summary. He also does not want Porsha to film the Real Housewives of Atlanta on his property at his house. He's claiming Porsha have her own house. Go to your own house and film the show. However, in Porsha's eyes, I was supposed to come back with this upgraded lifestyle and look at me, I'm doing good. And that's not what is given if I was to show up filming back in my old house that I gave to my mother. So I still want to flex on these people and show my mansion and show my life. So I'm going to film here. And Simon is trying to block that as well, allegedly. So I talked about all of that a few days ago. Now we're back here where at the beginning of all of this, I did say that Porsha did show up with an armed man to get some of her belongings because Simon wanted her out of the house. But like I said, Porsha can stay there until a judge sign on and says she have to leave, okay? But Porsha, because of all of the back and forth, allegedly Porsha did not feel safe, so she showed up with a man that had a gun. Now the nanny is taking Simon's side in all of this because, of course, Simon was the one who brought her on. Porsha didn't have a nanny. She didn't need one. She had her entire family and Dennis. Simon brought his nanny, so of course she's going to be loyal to Simon. So let's get into what she had to say. So this nanny in particular that Simon is using as a witness, this nanny been working with Simon since May of 2020 before he married Porsha. This nanny cared for Simon's kids before Porsha entered the picture. Let's go ahead and read a nanny statement. I was in charge for managing things around the home, taking care of the kids, overseeing the vendors, and anything else that needed to be done. I work every day at the marital residence. Some days I work 10 to 11 hours in the day, and some days I spend the night at home, depending on what needs to be done. I'm always around. She continued, Simon is such a good man. I have never seen him be violent or angry at all. He is very mild-mannered and just a nice guy. She then said that on February 22nd, Porsha reached out to her to ask if she could stay, late at night. She agreed. She said Porsha then showed up, came to her that day, wished her a happy birthday, and gave her flowers. And then Porsha left the home in the evening and never came back. The next day, Porsha filed for divorce. She continued, she had to watch Simon's children the following night because Porsha left the home when Simon was traveling. I could not go home to my home from Thursday, February 22nd until Monday, the 26th of February because Porsha left the marital residence without telling me it was the week Simon's children were at the home. Simon returned to the house surprised of the divorce without help from his wife. Do you all remember how Fallon said that Simon disappeared for 2 months, left her at the house by herself with not only her kids but his kids for 2 months, and allegedly at that time he was cheating on her? She did not know it was with Porsha. And when Simon disappeared for 2 months, around that time stamp, Porsha was posting images and videos from the same location where Simon was. So while he was allegedly out there cheating on his wife with Porsha, she was at home for 2 months with the kids. And when Simon said he could do the same thing he did to Fallon to Porsha, disappear, leave his children in the house with a nanny with Porsha, Porsha allegedly took her daughter, left the house, left Simon's children at the house with just a nanny without Simon. So apparently Simon was away for business, and even though they do have a nanny, the nanny get to go home and take breaks and all of that. And so Simon just does, since Porsha came back to the house and Porsha is their bonus mom, Porsha was going to be there to take care of all of the children together until he came back from his business trip. But instead, he was blindsided by the divorce. Porsha filed for divorce. So you know how Porsha was crying that she found out that her ex-husband, Cordell, filed for divorce on the internet like everybody else? Well, she went ahead and filed for divorce, and Simon found out, and then Simon came home to his children. What they are saying is, for the people who are confused, you want her to stay in the house and watch your kids with her daughter, but yet you also want her out of the house. They are saying that all of this behind the scenes situation was happening before Porsha filed for divorce. And when Porsha filed for divorce, then Simon came back home to be with his children. But what he's saying is, as their bonus mom, your job was to be there with them, with the nanny, and not just abandon them like that and just quickly be like, I'm just taking my child and I'm going to watch my child. I don't care about your kids. Allegedly, okay? She then continued that Porsha returned to the home 2 weeks later. She said Porsha parked her car outside. I did not know she was coming with a guy that day. Okay, Simon asked me, can you go and open the door for Porsha and ask her what she needs and whether she needs to come inside the home. I went outside to meet Porsha and I said, Simon is asking, do you need to come inside the house to get something? And Porsha said that she does not need to answer anything. And then she went inside the house with a security guy with a gun. The man was a big guy who was walking like a bad guy. I did not know that Porsha was coming with a guy. This came out of nowhere. I had never seen the guy before. The guy was inside the house sitting on the stairs with the gun showing. It was shocking to me. I was concerned. And she said at the time, Simon called the police. Officers came out and spoke to everyone. Porsha left with a security guard around midnight. So basically, when Porsha left the children with the nanny and then filed for divorce, Simon came back, then apparently had a conversation with the nanny, put different schedules and things in place, and then left again to go on another business trip. And then when he left, Porsha came back. She continued that Porsha then came back days later with another man. She said Simon changed the locks because she and the children did not feel comfortable being alone, not knowing if another man would come to the home. Okay. The last time that Porsha came to the house, she did not leave. This was on Sunday, March 24th of 2024. She came with a guy to open the gate again. She came with her daughter, her mother, and her mother's boyfriend. She was bringing her stuff back to the house. The same guy opened the gate. Then they started searching the house, went downstairs, and disconnected the cameras around the house. The cameras are not working. This makes me uncomfortable because I am with the kids by myself as their nanny when their father is away at work. Child, a mess. I would feel uncomfortable too because I thought we were cool. You brought me flowers, wished me happy birthday, brought me a card. Then you came back with a man that had a gun as if we were strangers. You disappeared for a little over a week, then came back with your family, moved your stuff back in with a different man, and then allegedly turned off all of the security cameras. So basically, if anything happens, it's your word against mine. And of course, the children, if they get to witness anything, I don't feel safe. However, in this economy, I'm not quitting my job with Simon. That's a lot of money. I'm not walking away, even though this situation is uncomfortable. So hopefully Simon and Porsha can figure things out, and because that's an uncomfortable work environment, and this lady can easily file a lawsuit, but instead of filing a lawsuit, she's backing up Simon and coming after Porsha, and she's being Simon witness. And so, we shall see. Simon is currently on Instagram being Simon, but that's a separate video because this one is almost at 20 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I wish both of them the best, and hopefully for the sake of the children, they can figure this thing out quickly because this right here is a hot mess. Anyways, I'm wishing all of you well. Please do not forget to click the links in the description below and support your girl. The boutique website link is in there, and the link to subscribe to my YouTube members only is in there. I'm wishing all of you well, and take care. loves, thank you all for your love and support. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Also turn on notifications so when I do post, you're aware that I posted. And I will see you all in the comment section. Remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless.